Well, good afternoon, everyone. Councilmember Rao here with the town of Morrisville, and also host of Radio Murchie. And I wanted to thank everyone for attending today. This is a hometown heroes town hall on celebrating July 4th with immigrant communities that are doing so much during our pandemic. And this is being hosted. The first 12 minutes of this will be on Radio Murchie, the Triangle region's largest South Asian radio station, also aired in Baltimore and Philadelphia and other large cities in the U.S. So we want to thank Radio Murchie. It's 99.9 FM HD4, 1490 AM, and 101.9 FM in Durham and Morrisville. And we want to thank those of you joining on Facebook. So I'm going to go ahead and begin. Today we have a very special guest, and I want to wish everyone out there a happy July 4th. I'm wearing my Alexander Hamilton shirt, as you can see, and I was streaming it on Disney last night and was inspired by the story of an immigrant who worked harder and smarter to become the $10 founding father serving at the side of President Washington. And we are so honored to have with us communities in Morrisville and in North Carolina that are really stepping up their efforts to help during this time. And so I'm honored today to have a dear friend of mine, a longtime friend of mine, Manoj Pandya, who is the president of the Hindu Society of North Carolina. Manoj, welcome to the program today.
Thank you so much, Steve. It's always pleasure to be with you and with the town of Morrisville, our own town. So proud of that we are the member of the same town. Happy Independence to all.
Yes, happy. Thank you so much, Manoj. So in the brief time we have with you, and after the radio interview is over, we're going to continue with this live stream on Town Hall. But real quickly, so tell us a little bit about the most exciting thing you're doing today. So many exciting things, but let's talk first about the food preparation. So Hindu Society is preparing meals and working with Wake County to distribute these meals in other regions. Tell us a little bit about how this idea came about in March and what specifically the project entails.
Excellent. So what really happened was around 15, 16 March, remember everything slowly started shutting down, and we have a huge and beautiful campus, Hindu Society campus, and right in the heart of Morrisville, near to the airport, 20 acres land and wonderful facility, commercial kitchen. And so we all talked about, hey, what can we do here so that we can help community? We've been helping everybody, and then we volunteers and friends, we came together, and then the need came up. Someone said that, hey, Wake County schools are going to be shut down, and everywhere there was a noise about, hey, how are the people going to get the food, those who are depending on the Wake County school program. And there was kind of a chaos everywhere happening. And so we said, let's start this in a limited sense. Can we talk to Wake County and see how we can help? And at the same time, a few of our folks were in touch with the homeless shelter in Raleigh, which is also again connected with the Wake County facility. So all in all, everybody said, yes, the need is big. What can you do? And immediately we gathered, we got the volunteers who loves preparing food, plus we got some chef. Their restaurants were closing down. So we said, let's start preparing the food. And obviously, what the thing came up, what can we supply? Because as you know, Steve, in Hindu Society, we can only prepare vegetarian meals. So therefore, then we said, okay, let's make pasta. And so we immediately went to the restaurant depot, bought, we were all excited. And first time we prepared the pasta for 400 people in our kitchen with the help of volunteers. And that was loved so much. And we got encouraged with that. Along with that, we started doing the sweet dishes, fruit salad, and kind of Indian traditional little bit with touch of spices. And so slowly we started giving it to the Wake County. We started with Monday. That Monday went to Wednesday went to Friday. So all 3 days plus Saturday. Then since we were catering to their demand, they were so happy. They increased the capacity from 100 packs to 200 packs. Then they said, hey, can you give at this church in Raleigh, or can you give to the prison? Prison needs the transparent containers and all that. So slowly, the demand went on. Our community help went on too much, Steve. I cannot explain how much the regional organizations such as Gujarati Association, Marathi Association, Tamil Association, Jain Group, Hindi Vikas Mandal, and I name it, all those triangle organizations, Steve, you are very well connected with this. They came forward, started donating. Every Saturday we started giving these associations to come and prepare meal and deliver those meals. So we just gave the facility. People were just looking for an opportunity here to come and serve the community. And so this time, for the first time, we went beyond our community and went outreach to more and more community in Raleigh and in Wake County who needed this meal. And we could see that when we went there to deliver it, people were waiting there for the food. And then it happened so much so that today they wait for this hot meal because we prepare so fresh meal. And now we started getting the vegetables from the Wake County interfaith efforts as well. So we get those vegetables, cut those vegetables, prepare those vegetables with rice, pasta, soya, and different kind of varieties, and deliver it. So it's a very humbling experience and great experience.
That's
and
fantastic.
And we today delivered 15,000 meal in 3.5 months. That was a milestone.
And I want to thank Councilmember Garamella for putting us in touch with Wake County, and he's one of my best friends and a colleague, but that was wonderful. And we're delivering. So how many, before I ask my second question, or probably my last question, how many meals have we delivered so far since March?
Today, we have marked the milestone of 15,250.
Wow. And these are going to all around the county with volunteers. I mean, this is amazing. I can't even get the words out of how proud I am of each of you and what a powerful message this sends. I'm going to ask you a final question, but before, let's talk about the masks. So you've also had volunteers that are producing cloth masks and distributing this equipment, PPE, masks out to the community. Tell us a little bit about that project.
So that was even a very interesting story was, and that it was started by our senior club. Our past president, Banu Krishnamurthy, retired physician, Ramesh Bhai, as you know, when this all started, we were not having masks or anywhere. Most of the people were not even aware that what is mask or where do we get it, and especially for the medical facilities, nursing homes, where the mask was absolutely in scarcity. So our senior group got hold of other senior members, and in a very short period had a network of 50 volunteers. Keep in mind, nobody can come and meet, so everybody was at their home. Everybody, some sort of stitching machine were there, or somewhere, some people were just, especially the men, were just performing the logistic of it, getting the material, delivering the material. So the group of 50 volunteers working at their home with a WhatsApp group came up with, hey, I need 20 masks. Can you stitch 50 masks? So it went on so well that, like today, Banuji said that they were making 300 to 500 masks per week. Now that has gone down to 100 and 200 because ample of masks are available. So the 50 volunteers for last 3 months working tirelessly from their home and communicating very nicely, and different kinds of masks from the different fabrics and material. And today I'm so proud that we did another milestone for masks is we completed and delivered, stitched and delivered 5,000 masks to the various organizations such as Rest Hospital, WakeMed, NCIP, Wake County Public Schools, Life Sciences, Wake County Human Resources, Neurology, doctors, Wake Respiratory, Rehab, international students, senior staffs, volunteers, shelters, and others. So these are the organizations that received the mask, and the program is still on.
And HSC, we have 2 more minutes, but HSC has done so much volunteer work. I mean, whether it's helping out doing the earthquake relief with Nepal. I see some Nepalese community joining this Facebook Live. We did a concert. We've been doing health fairs, right, with Triangle area Hindu temples. So all these temples are organized together. And one project is, we're going to talk about that next week, but BAPS, SV Temple, HSNC is going to be doing with Mako Medical COVID-19 tests at the different temples, right? And
That's right.
these efforts together. Okay,
Absolutely.
fantastic.
Wake County is going to be part of that as well, and along with Mako.
We're going to continue this town hall for a few minutes, but my last question before we get off our radio is, what is the message? First of all, I just want to thank each of you so much. I mean, I'm going to mix my closing message in before I ask my last question, but the bottom line is today, you see in my background, the founding fathers of our country, and those famous words we often say to ourselves, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by inalienable rights, among which are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But I think what this project has, to me, shown in all of North Carolina and the many people around this country watching this is that it doesn't matter where you come from, what your race is, what your religion is, what your gender is, your sexual orientation. I mean, you're basically, all Americans are free and equal. And during this pandemic, you're using the opportunity and freedom you have to help during the pandemic. And I cannot think of a better way to celebrate the 4th of July than to celebrate this great story. So we want to thank you so much. And that message is from my heart to each and every one of you. I want to wish you all a very happy July 4th.
Glad to do that, Steve. Thank you so much. And anybody listening this think that they can participate in this, please let us know if you can help us, or let us know if we can deliver to some places or something. We'll be glad to do that. We're always there in the Society of North Carolina. You can go on hsnconline.org or on HSNC Temple on the Facebook. And
Thank you. We're going to continue the town hall, but I want to thank Radio Murchie for broadcasting this live today on the radio, and we're going to be airing this again tomorrow at 4 o'clock. If you happen to be out and about for 4th of July stuff, you can listen to it tomorrow at 4 o'clock. But I want to thank Ravi Chakuri, Radio Murchie, and the team. They're really doing exciting stuff, broadcasting great community events and great leadership on my show, Leaders and Legends. So thank you so much, and we'll be back next week for another edition. We're going to now continue with this town hall meeting. I guess just sort of having a fireside chat for another 10, 15 minutes. One question that just came in, and I think you already answered it, is how, if somebody's out there is listening and they want to participate, they just go and get in touch with you and they can come and volunteer and prepare the food, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. On hsnconline.org or on HSNC website, or if you cannot, my number is 919-274-1680. Give me a call and we'll help you out. And we need help. Thank you.
As somebody that's running a faith institution, how has how has this pandemic affected, we have a number of religious organizations in Morrisville, the Church of Latter-day Saints, the BAPS Temple, HSNC, Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church, First Baptist Church. A lot of these organizations have been affected by the pandemic, not being able to meet live. I just miss being able to go there, the big events we used to have. So what has that been like, being the HSNC president again, managing a religious institution during a pandemic? How have you been dealing with that to keep your members engaged?
This is first time we did it. So, the first time such an unique pandemic where the shutdown is happening. So first thing immediately we did was started providing our morning and evening rituals through through Facebook and through Zoom and all that. So our all rituals are now on the online and people can join and enjoy it. So when we're getting a lot of responses to that. So that is one. Second thing is, we have so many things at our cultural hall. It's so packed, it's always busy. And one of the important activities we do is 4 times a week, the yoga. And now that yoga is not happening, so I said, members, guys, we cannot let this yoga stop. So we immediately started doing the yoga on WebEx and Zoom. And so we're 4 times a day we're doing that. Those monthly, fortnightly rituals, we are doing it online. So to the extent possible, we are trying to connect with the devotees online. It's tough in the sense that financially it's a huge burden. We have fixed cost. We got to meet that, but we are fortunate fortunate to have donors and some help in that respect, but it's not going to be always sufficient, as you know that. But we're trying to do as much as possible. Plus, we also took some advantage of this downtime, and we're trying to improve our campus, and we're renovating a temple. Yes, it costs money, but we had good volunteers. They said, we will do it for you. So we got an active volunteers involved, and then now we're painting the temple, and those are few things which we couldn't do it for in last 15 years. This was an opportunity to improve our house of God. But it is tough. People are not able to come. They are expressing their desire, but we're trying our best to provide the services morning and evening every day on our Facebook and through YouTube and all of the channels, and trying to connect.
We just had a couple of Parlakat Venkat Krishna, and he wanted me to thank you for doing a great job. And today's Guru Purnima, he wanted to remind us. And we've been getting, the morning, I get the Facebook, announcements. I see it in the morning and the evening. It's excellent. So we'll just have to work through it. And you're working with, the other question I had is, obviously we're with the COVID clinic, where the COVID test, you're coordinating with other temples as volunteer projects arise so that we can ramp up these efforts to different organizations as well.
Right. So on 19 July, we have a beautiful campus, right? So we can, these tests are required to be done drive-through, right? So we are arranging, we have over 300 registration already. Still there are 15 days, but still we have registration over 300, and it's getting packed. So you can go on HSNC online website, and you can still register for doing the swab test, and with the help of TAT and all these temples and Wake County and MACO, we are also doing the antibody test. So that's in addition to the virus screening, we are also doing the antibody. So those two tests are available, and a lot of details are available on TAT website. And I guess you're going to talk to them next week also. And on HSNC website, a lot of details are available for that. So it is on HSNC on 19 July, that is Sunday.
Yeah, we're going to be getting the information. There's some flyers. I think it starts on Saturday, but 19th of July, next Saturday it starts, and there's one at BAPS, then there's at your temple and SV Temple, so different clinics. And there, is there going to be a health fair again? I've been getting some questions about that. Or are we going to hold off until the pandemic is over? I guess this will be like a health fair almost. Right.
To my knowledge, of course, the TAT does that. But what I have heard is they're not going to do the healthcare. And in place of healthcare, they're doing this virus screening and antibody. That's what my information is.
Okay. All right. Great. We talked about the campus. I just had a question came in. We've been so excited about the Learning Center. My kids did those classes when they were younger, the Gurukulam classes. You talked about the streaming. Are they doing any of the youth classes as well through technology?
Right. So Sanskar, which is a very famous Sunday school at HSNC, right? So they completed their courses and graduation through WebEx. So within 2 weeks back, they finished their curriculum, and for last 2.5, 3 months, they did it online. So yes, they did that using WebEx. Wow,
that's exciting. I mean, it's just, now one question I got is that, we're going to be here for a few more minutes. I know you got to go. It's a busy day, July 4th. The question was, has there been any other, have you been contacted by any other like facilities or Hindu societies like in Charlotte or the Triad or Greensboro? And if, because this could be a really great way of leveraging the network to do more things around the state. Has that been something that has come up?
Right. So we've been working very closely with SEVA. I'm sure you must have heard SEVA. It's another US-wide organization. I think they do fabulous work throughout the US. They also have the mass program. They also have the food program in respective cities, plus assistant program, like people were stuck at each places, right, and wanted to go back and forth, and so SEVA does. So we did a lot of time with SEVA, helping people in Charlotte, helping people in different parts of North Carolina. They were stuck. Somebody needed medical help. Somebody needed mass. Somebody needed some religious thing. So we are coordinating with them. Plus, we are coordinating with BAPS. BAPS also are actively involved with our food program, and few of the Saturdays they pick it up and they deliver as well. So it's a network of the events. We do get some calls from Charlotte as well. Of course, we cannot provide food from here outside RTP, but we do get that, and we do work with these multiple organizations. And like I said, our food program is made of all regional, at least 16 regional organizations are helping us to carry out this food program in terms of volunteering plus donations.
Well, and I think the reason I asked the question is that I think that there's a great opportunity. We have a real model that's working here. So if somebody happens to be listening to the show and you want to know how do they make it work, whether you're in Charlotte or Greensboro, Triad, or even in another area of the country, you can call Manoj, email him. He can work with you because there's temples all over the country. And, so this is just a great way for our community to help and to do great things. It said, I just got someone that just said some people are working on a federation of Hindu temples of North America. So that'd be fascinating, right? To
right. Yeah.
We can connect. Yeah.
Yeah. We work with them also. I'm very proud to say this, that temple opening. So they said, hey, what can we do about the posters and CDC guidelines and all that? So our communication Parag Dige came with this fabulous posters. We designed some 15 posters from the CDC guidelines, and those 15 posters now been accepted by the Federation of Hindu Temple as the template, and they are passing it on throughout the US and the world. These posters, the posters which you saw today, a couple of those on the Hindu Society, those were designed by us, and now they've been used as a template across. So yes, it's an interesting experience as well. Anyway, however we can help, it has been great and challenging time.
Yeah, I mean, we could go on and on. I mean, I think that, I think it's just, I guess the final question, and we'll wait a few minutes to get other questions is, so right now, this is a trying time on all of us. We don't know when it's going to be over, but let's assume that, a year from now, we have a vaccine and we start opening up the economy, people are coming back. How will it be just something that you have to work with the HSNC community on just slowly bringing back people, figuring out a way to get to a new normal, which is for many of us, even in Morrisville, the government, hard to really know what that new normal is going to be like. We're literally living one day at a time, right?
Right. So it's very interesting question you're bringing it up. You know that wedding happens now in summer, right? And the typical Indian wedding. So we started getting requests now, and we already have a couple of bookings in July end for weddings.
Wow.
Only condition is very limited people as per the governor's guidelines. And those are the social distancing weddings, we're calling it. And we have two weddings lined up end of July in our hall. So, there'll be a distancing, tables would be arranged accordingly. So we're trying to learn new normal. And so there is already some movements are happening but we're very cautious right now. Want to be very sure that the graph goes down or at least stay stable before we could do that. So there are activities, motion is happening, but yes, it's going to be we celebrate Ganesh Utsav in a very big way. You know that, right? It's coming end of August. So we are asking ourselves, how do we do that? Even in cities like Bombay, they're going to cancel few of the big festivals. They're going to cancel those Ganesh. So should we cancel it? Should we do it using the social distancing? So all those questions are being debated, and we will know in the next 2 weeks that how we're going to do this year's Ganesh festival starting 21st August. And then there will be Navratri, right? Dances. How we going to do? Thousands of people flock in. And then there'll be Diwali. So these are the challenges. If we can get, if situation permits, we would like to get it done in this new normal way.
The largest events have typically been our community. This community, that's one question. We have a few more minutes, we're not in a rush today, but people that want to know, one question just came in. You have seen the community grow from, from
Yep.
when Sharma, we want to thank the Sharmas if they're listening for founding the temple. And we often hear Dr. Sharma talk about how when Morrisville was just woods, he came with this idea, I want to build a Hindu temple. Unbelievable. He's 92, I think now.
Yep.
And how the community has grown. And, how do, we have big events. And so it's going to be a big challenge, I think,
It is, and you have seen our Navratri folks, and it's during weekends we have to stop registrations and selling the tickets. Even we were thinking of having, we planned it this year. We were thinking of having Navratri at 2 different places at same time, same day. So we were trying to do in the hall, our hall, as well as in RCC. But all these are halted now. But yes, when I came here in 1998, we were hardly 15, 20K. And today, the numbers, 70, 80, you count it. I don't know. There's all kinds of numbers are there. But yes, it is overwhelming. Look at the institutes which have taken place in Morrisville itself. We have 4 or 5 temples.
Yeah, my final 2 questions are, one question that came in is, we have a lot of families in India still, people, that are, how are they, there's just a lot of concern about the COVID spread in India, how it's hitting the developing world. Prime Minister Modi's been working, he had tried to lock down the whole country. Are there efforts being made just to keep people up on what's going on back home in all the different states of India that are represented by HSNC?
Certainly, we do hear stories. Occasionally we do get calls to help out. We take help of you, our Council Member Satish, to get connected with the Indian Embassy. Yes, this is so unique that the experiences we are having here is the same there. So it's like, it's mutual everywhere these days. Earlier, if there's a heavy hurricane is coming, they will call us and ask us, hey, you guys are safe now, everything is okay. Or if something is happening, weird rains are happening in Bombay, we would call it. But this time, they are also in trouble. We are also in the same trouble, spreading it at the same way, at the same length, and same symptoms. So yes, we hear those stories. We get call from our community here to go back, or even we get a call that, hey, somebody's stuck in Bombay. Can you help using your political contacts? And we have done those things, that calling our, as you know, Lalit is well connected with multiple government officers and politicians. We call from here, hey, because their lockdown and curfew was much more harder than ours. So they couldn't come out from the home. But somebody died in Hyderabad, and the student is in Bombay.
Yes.
So we have helped those cases from here sitting, that, hey, can you give them the pass? Hey, can you arrange the transports? Hey, even we arrange the food and the medicines and all those things sitting here online, we could do that. And we are glad to do that, sitting here.
Yeah. And we had an immigration town hall last week, but that's exactly something Satish gets falls a lot. Where the travel restrictions, we had one incident in Morrisville where somebody could not get back. They went there on a wedding in February and they couldn't get back, and they had a job, all the banking, everything was here. So, that's one issue we're seeing, is the restrictions. Also the restrictions on H-1B and the skilled immigration is affecting, folks during this pandemic. And
Absolutely.
so, I think that's an issue that we as a community, we could spend another hour talking about that. But thank you for that. Final question is, we've come so far in a relatively short period of time with the Hindu Society of North Carolina, and that's really for a lot of the Hindu temples. But what is the vision now for the future of the campus? The community will continue to grow. Are there any things out there that you all are working on that we should know about so that we can support and help and bring ideas?
Great question, Steve. We have, as you know, it's a prime location, 20 acres, and we could do so much. Our vision is to develop an HSNC campus here. We are working very close with town, with Morrisville town, for rezoning our properties so that
Okay.
we could use, and town is very cooperative so far. We were making good progress, but as you know, all those plans are stalled for now. Public viewing is not possible because of this pandemic and all that. But we are working with the town planning department very closely and converting all these lands into so that we could do a campus or institutional zoning. And so then our next plan is to do cafeteria. Our next plan is to do Havan Center, Yagna Center, Yoga Center. Our plan is to build temple. Our plan is to say, for example, Jain Center or Satya Sai Baba Center. Well, this is a campus, right? Everybody, and the huge facilities there. Everybody can come. We have a lot of parking space. So they don't have to go outside. And so that is our goal, one after one. Once we have the rezoning done, the next thing is to do a plan, master plan. We already have a committee working on the master plan. Where do you want to do the temple? Where do you want to do the cafeteria? Where do you want to do the Jain Center? Where do you want to do the youth center or senior center or yoga center? So we're going to do the big plan, and as the funds becomes available, we're going to come up with an autonomous body where, okay, Jain Center can do their task, but under Hindu campus. And so they have their own liberty to do their tasks, their programs, their activities, so that people stay together. And it's a multi-dimensional campus where we could pass on the culture, education, music, dance, religious, regional, build up permanent, maybe a soup kitchen. All those plans are in making. So first thing first, working with town very closely for rezoning and the master plan.
Okay, well, that's a great way to end it. There's just a tremendous opportunity, and we want to thank each and every one of you. Just a reminder that next week we've got the COVID testing beginning. We're going to be doing another Hometown Heroes interview. We're going to working on bringing tots, and we want to thank Manoj, all the leaders of the Hindu Society, the board of directors, the trustees for being just such leaders in our town and the region. And we're proud to be beneficiaries of that. On this July 4th, just want to thank you for stepping up and want to wish everyone a wonderful July 4th. And I would be remiss if I did not thank the soldiers of our country who are somewhere around the world defending our freedom, those who gave their lives and sacrificed for our freedom, and those veterans who have served our country with honor and distinction. We want to remember them on this July 4th, wherever we are. And even though we don't have the fireworks and the big breakfasts and the gatherings, we can take time to reflect. So if you have Disney, go watch Hamilton, go watch John Adams, read a little bit of the Declaration of Independence. If you're a kid out there listening, go read some history. And the final thing, I got a recommendation from Parlakat Venkateshwaran about why not starting a STEM school, which is a great idea. and also an idea of nominating Sharmaji for the Padma Award to the Indian government, which is a great idea, but he did get the Order of the Longleaf Pine. So right. The governor presented them. I was out on vacation that week, but they did already get the highest award from the governor of North Carolina, the Order of the Longleaf Pine.
Absolutely. But, Steve, yeah. We have an event tonight on our Facebook and on our YouTube. We're doing a live concert, group in India, live musicians and orchestra, performing at 8:30 p.m. today. It's a very unique Hemant Kumar concert with live musicians. So if you can tune in, link is available on hsnconline.org. It's a great show. Don't miss it at 8:30 today.
Great, and I forgot, yeah, that's for 8:30, that's great. And then the other one is one of my friends, Babu Dawadi, has opened up a restaurant July 6th, Monday, called the Curry House. And he's a great Nepali immigrant, he's got already a restaurant in Kebab and Curry in Raleigh on Hillsborough Street. A new one, I think it's in Wendell. I'm blanking on the name. An amazing Asian restaurant, and now he's got a new one, Curry House. So if you go to Curry House NC, you can get another wonderful food from him. So I want to thank him for for opening up. I want to wish him the best. That's a great news to open up a restaurant during this time. That's a
Right.
real achievement. That's a real achievement. So, and let's support those restaurants. But I want to thank you so much, Manoj, for your time, and really appreciate it. And thank you so much for all the things that you've done. And we'll be back next week, folks. Want to thank everyone for attending today on Facebook. Those of you listening on Murchie, and we'll be back next week for another edition. Manoj, whatever I can do to help you, let me know. Thank you for
Always.
being a
You're
great leader
always
for our
there,
community.
Steve. Thank you, Steve. You're always there. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm honored, sir.
Bye.
Have a great 4th.
You too.
Freedom
Bye,
for all.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.